Do you aspire to become a millionaire? You're the first person in your family to ever achieve it. I'm going to run you through 3 quick tips of what you can do as a first generation wealthy person to ensure that you can actually hold on to that hard earned and start creating generational wealth. Now, as someone who's the first multi-millionaire in my family, coming from a long track history of working class people who basically just had enough to make ends meet, I very quickly realised that there wasn't a lot of success for me to follow when it came to my DNA, my code that my family had used to produce the results, because I wanted to create substantially higher results in my own life. And I discovered 3 very simple tips that ultimately have helped me create a multi-million-dollar business and multi-7 figures in net wealth by the age of 34. And that's going to continue to compound and grow nicely over the course of the years and decades to come. It comes down to 3 basic skills. The first skill is having the ability to control how you trade your time for money. Whether you be an employee, whether you be a business owner, you ultimately need to realize that your time has value. And what that value is and how you trade it, and the financial model that surrounds how you trade that time for money will largely dictate the income that you earn and then in turn the surplus that you have to invest. For example, if you earn $60,000 a year, then as long as you maintain a comfortable lifestyle and have surplus left over and you commit that surplus, you can be wealthy. But it's obviously going to be far more difficult than somebody who can earn millions of dollars a year and have monstrous surplus, and that's what's going to make them incredibly wealthy. Just because you earn multi-million dollars, if you don't have surplus, you're not getting anywhere. In anything, you can end up in a far worse position than other people with less and more modest incomes. 2, you need to have a mechanism for turning your surplus into wealth. The issue is, for many people, they think their earned income is going to make them wealthy. It doesn't. It's what you do with it that matters. And ultimately, you need to have a mechanism that you can systematically take that surplus and turn that into personal wealth, even if it's just a small amount in the beginning. Let's say it's $50 a week. Doesn't matter what it is, you just need to start. And that mechanism is either going to be property. Obviously, you need more than $50 to invest in property. It's going to be shares, which you can do with very small amounts of money. Or it's going to be business, actually building a valuable business that can be sold. Don't disguise reinvesting your profits to cover cash flow shortfalls as reinvesting. The idea is that your initial activity is not going to be a final activity. We want to be able to dial up those contributions over time. As you pull lever 1, we can continue to pull lever 2. And then we get to tip number 3, is you need to understand the relationship of risk versus return. I see so many people speculating on certain investments without understanding the relationship of risk versus return. And for that reason, they take far more risk than they need to because they don't understand any better. They're so focused on the potential returns, they don't consider the downsides. Your philosophy should be to take the least amount of risk necessary to get to the outcome that you want. And the reason why this statement is so valuable is because it forces you to define the outcome that you want, reverse engineer it, and then work out the least amount of risk required in order to presuppose you get to that result. For example, I only need 8% compounding growth per annum on average in order for me to far exceed all of my goals and aspirations. You don't need to take a lot of risk to do that. You can get a low-cost, diversified index fund that has historically performed that on a regular basis. Super, super simple, right? So anything you do above and beyond that can be cream on top, and you can do so from a position of power. So let me know, out of these 3 levers, the 3 strategies, which ones have you implemented and which ones can you improve on? Let me know in the comments.